the Los Angeles Lakers drafted Bronny James, the son of NBA superstar LeBron James, with their final pick in the NBA draft at number 55. The move was not particularly surprising, as there have been rumors and arguments and damn near promises that if LeBron James stays in LA, Bronny gonna be able to play with him. And as soon as the pick was made and everybody cried and hugged and celebrated, you know, this became a very polarizing conversation. Some people talked about legacy. They talked about the beauty of LeBron James extending his legacy. They talked about the power and the possibility of having the James legacy continue through his son. I hear all of that. But usually I get emotionally connected. I get excited. I almost have a tear dripping down my eye when I see those kind of beautiful moments. Dell Curry and Steph Curry. You know what I mean? Brent Barry and Rick Barry, whatever, right? But this time I did not. I was frustrated and disappointed that this happened. I saw it coming. I'm not surprised by it, but I was still disappointed. And I'll tell you why. This was one of the most egregious cases of nepotism that I have seen in my life. In sports, among players. I'm gonna say that again. And I need to be very specific with my language. This is one of the most egregious cases of nepotism in sports among athletes, among players that I've ever seen. In fact, it is the most egregious example that I have ever seen. And I'll tell you why. Bronny James, at this stage, at this moment in his life, does not belong in the NBA. Could he belong in the NBA in a year, 2, 3? Absolutely. He's a great kid, McDonald's All-American, played, you know, great skill set, very athletic. What I see in him is an elite defensive player in the making. But I don't see a playmaker yet. I don't see somebody who drives well with both hands. I see him going left better than right. He's somebody who didn't fill the bucket, didn't shoot well in college. He averaged 5 points a game in college, 4.8 to be exact. There is nobody who averages 4.8 points a game in college that, in general, that does not need to stay in college a little bit longer. I think if you talk to any NBA player, and I've talked to lots of them about this, there is not a single NBA player who believes that Bronny James right now belongs in the NBA. There are people who are cool with the choice, but they don't believe he belongs in the NBA. They believe that, they know that he's on this roster because of his dad. Now, a lot of people, I saw Kendrick Perkins, I saw Jay Williams, I saw Stephen A. Smith, all say, well, there's plenty of nepotism in the NBA. They're correct. Luke Walton would not have been coaching if not for Bill Walton. You know, it's a fact, right? If you look in the NFL or the NBA or you know, I don't know hockey as well, but in the other two sports, you see the sons of people. Look at Jerry Jones and his whole family. Or look in politics. Look at the whole Trump administration being run by his kids. Jared Kushner is running Middle East policy, and he don't know anything about the Middle East. Except he said he read a couple books. Nepotism is everywhere. Nepotism is usually wielded by white people. It's usually wielded by the wealthy. It's usually wielded by the 1%. It's usually wielded by people who don't look like LeBron and Bronny James. I get that. But we have to get out of the mindset of saying that our freedom dream is to be as unaccountable and unprincipled as white men. That is not the world that we want to live in. Now, it's the 55th pick in the draft. It's almost a symbolic pick if you want it to be, right? Most second-round draft picks don't make the team anyway. But Bronny is going to make the team. He is going to have a spot. Ain't no way they're going to draft him and cut him. So if that's the case, what's the harm, Mark? There's always a 15th guy on the bench that don't play or gets a two-way deal. From what I understand, according to rumor reports, I can't confirm this, he won't take a two-way deal. But even if he does, right? Bronny James is not an NBA player right now. Putting him on the end of a bench, people say, well, other people on the end of the bench that can't play. Look at Giannis's brother. That's nepotism. True. Thanasis Antetokounmpo does not belong in the NBA either. But I would make sense a little different. He got drafted by the Knicks. He played in the G League. He put some time in. He didn't get straight. He didn't get drafted straight by the Bucks, which I think makes it even more egregious. But we make fun of Thanasis. Thanasis is literally the punchline. He is the metaphor. He is the stand-in when people talk about somebody who don't deserve it. He's a meme. I don't want Bronny James to be a meme. Bronny James is smart. He's well-mannered. He's polite. He's careful. He's honest. He's humble. He seems like a beautiful kid, a well-raised kid. Shout out to LeBron and Savannah for that. I don't want him to be part of a circus. And I don't want him to only be on a team to fulfill a corporate branding thing or to fulfill LeBron's legacy. I don't think LeBron has bad intentions. I think LeBron's a beautiful dude too. But I think as a father, as a parent, we can sometimes want this legacy thing that becomes about our ego. It becomes about our story and not our kids' story. I'm glad Dwayne Wade didn't force Zaire onto a roster. Zaire needs to be doing what he's doing right now, which is travel, play in other leagues, develop, grow, and maybe one day he'll make the league on his own, right? I like that left-hand J you got. I think Bronny James is a pro one day, but you don't want to stun his growth. You don't want to undermine his reputation. Now you'll say, well, there's no college team you can play for that will be better than getting trained by LeBron James and playing on the Lakers for the next 2 or 3 years. That's true. He will grow a lot in practice. He will grow a lot by working out with these elite players. But that's only part of it. He could do that at USC. He's at USC. He could work out with them anyway. What he's going to experience now is an attack on his reputation. He's going to be a punchline. Players aren't going to respect him. Teammates may not respect him. I don't think it's best for him. And I don't think it's best for the league. I don't want a league, because this is up to the fans too. As a fan, I want my team to put the best roster up they can. And the best roster ain't Bronny James right now if I'm a Lakers fan. I'm not a Lakers fan. But if I were a Sixers fan, I'd be through the roof right now. Because the Lakers actually need help. The Lakers actually need roster spots. The Lakers actually need to develop. They shouldn't be putting energy here. They should be putting energy in getting players that will make LeBron James get another championship. That should be the legacy that we should be thinking about. And as a fan, that's what I want to see. This isn't about ego. It shouldn't be. It should be about winning. And so when I say he's the first Nepo-Baby player, I'm not ignoring that nepotism is all through the front office, all through the corporate part of it. And you know what? I want Black people in them jobs. If you want to put Black people in corporate America, leading or Black people in the administration, Black people in the executive branch not branch, but in the executive suite or the C-suite of these companies, I'm down with that. I want Bob Johnson or Michael Jordan to bring their kids in and have them run the team. I love that. I don't think it's anything wrong with having a family business that you bring your family in. To me, that's not even nepotism. But if it is, I'm cool with that. But what I'm not cool with is putting a kid in a position that he may not be able to live up to, that will undermine his long-term growth and maturity and development, and maybe even hurt LeBron's legacy in the long run.